I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. So I was originally recording this as one video with my last recording, but I decided to split them up into two different videos, making this part 6 of section 132. And what we've read so far, in the beginning we read about the new and everlasting covenant, how it is the overarching or the baseline covenant, the foundation of all other covenants, that anything done within the new and everlasting covenant is itself a new and everlasting covenant. We also read about how marriage is solemnized and made eternal within the new and everlasting covenant, how adultery is judged, violators, those who break the new and everlasting covenant, what will be the consequences. We also read the justification of the ancient patriarchs and the command to Joseph Smith to practice plural marriage. We are going to finish out the last few verses here. This will be, I believe, verses 58 through 66. Not too long. But now let us finish the section out, verse 58. Now, as touching the law of the priesthood, there are many things pertaining thereunto. Verily, if a man be called of my father, as was Aaron, by mine own voice, and by the voice of him that sent me, and I have endowed him with the keys of the power of this priesthood, if he do anything in my name, and according to my law, and by my word, he will not commit sin, and I will justify him. Let no one therefore set on my servant Joseph, for I will justify him, for he shall do the sacrifice which I require at his hands for his transgressions, saith the Lord your God. And again, as pertaining to the law of the priesthood, if any man espouse a virgin, and desire to espouse another, and the first give her consent, and if he espouse the second, and they are virgins, and have vowed to no other man, then he is justified. He cannot commit adultery, for they are given unto him. For he cannot commit adultery with that belongeth unto him, and to no one else. And if he have 10 virgins given unto him by this law, he cannot commit adultery, for they belong to him, and they are given unto him, therefore he is justified. But if one or either of the 10 virgins, after she is espoused, shall be with another man, she has committed adultery, and shall be destroyed. For they are given unto him to multiply and replenish the earth, according to my commandment, and to fulfill the promise which was given by my Father before the foundation of the world, and for their exaltation in the eternal worlds, that they may bear the souls of men. For herein is the work of my Father continued, that he may be glorified. And again, verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man have a wife who holds the keys of this power, and he teaches unto her the law of my priesthood as pertaining to these things, then shall she believe and administer unto him. Or she shall be destroyed, saith the Lord your God. For I will destroy her, for I will magnify my name upon all those who receive and abide in my law. Therefore it shall be lawful in me, if she receive not this law, for him to receive all things whatsoever I, the Lord his God, will give unto him, because she did not believe and administer unto him according to my word, and she then becomes the transgressor. And he is exempt from the law of Sarah, who administered unto Abraham according to the law, when I commanded Abraham to take Hagar to wife. And now, as pertaining to this law, verily, verily, I say unto you, I will reveal more unto you hereafter. Therefore let this suffice for the present. Behold, I am Alpha and Omega. Amen. There are two things to note in this portion. First, a lot of people say, well, it threatens Emma with destruction. And a lot of people say that it's a threat to all women. Any woman, the first wife has to give consent, but if she doesn't, then she's going to be destroyed and it doesn't matter. That's not what it's saying. You got to understand. It says that the wife of the one who holds those keys. It also says that there's only one person. This is at the beginning in like verse 5 or 6. It says that only one person at a time holds these keys. So that particular law, that exemption that is put in there saying, if your wife doesn't support you in this, then you are exempt from it and you can still marry, you can still fulfill the law as God commanded. That exemption exists only for the one who holds the keys. At this time it was Joseph Smith. Therefore when Emma turned against the practice, turned against the doctrine, Joseph Smith was exempt from what is called the law of Sarah, because he held the keys. He had to be able to receive plural wives, if he was going to exercise those keys on behalf of others. He had to be able to lead by example. And if Emma was standing in the way, then she becomes the transgressor and he is exempt. That does not apply to anybody else, because they do not hold the keys and therefore they are not obligated to lead by example. The last thing I want to mention is that more than once it talks about God giving wives to men. They belong to the men. And a lot of women, a lot of feminists especially, but not even just feminists, a lot of women have some issues with this language. Several years ago, my sister mentioned this, and I understand the issue, but I just can't believe that God would treat his daughters like that, as property. And so I studied it, I prayed about it, and this is what I have come to know. He's not giving them as in they are property, but a father has a natural obligation to protect and provide for his daughters. When a woman gets married, this marriage ceremony, they always ask, remember, who gives this woman away? It is not that he is giving away her as if she is his property. He is transferring his natural obligations to the husband. He is not giving his daughter as property, but he is giving the right to defend, protect, and care for his daughter to the husband. So when God talks about giving men wives, what he is saying is he is selecting righteous men that he knows will take good care of his daughters. And he is giving them that obligation. He is putting on them the obligation to care for his daughters, to treat them well, to protect and provide. And if a man fails in that obligation, God exercises his right to take that right from that man and give it to one who is faithful, who will care and provide for his daughters. We don't like the language in the modern day, but it is truly one of the greatest expressions of God's love. Because what God is literally saying is that he will not allow a wicked man to hold his daughters back. He will not allow a man who is unfaithful to hurt his daughters further. He will provide all possible blessings for all of his daughters. I'm going to leave it here, and I will see you in the next one.